All right, hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Reclaiming the Crown. Today I'm going to be talking about breaking down Portland Open for you guys and then also diving into Beaver State Fling. So Portland Open, I started out the tournament 8 under par, which put me on lead card. I played a really good round. I missed a Circle's Edge putt on hole 1 that just came out of my hand, dead duck wobbly, and I was like, oh, please not this again. Like, putting per se hasn't been my issue, but it came out, and I'm like, I hope this isn't the game that I brought to hole 1. Birdied hole 2, persevered, played really good, shot 8 under, and I wasn't really looking at scores because I was just focused on like finally playing a good first round. So I just kind of took it easy I just took score on my phone, didn't look at the scores, and when I finished, like, hey, can we have an interview? And I was like, me? And wow, this is a nice change of pace. So going into round 2 and round 3, so round 2 I was on lead card, shot a 6 under par to maintain on lead card, which I was more than happy with. And then round 3, I had 15 pars and 3 birdies to play the final round on the second card, which I was more than fine with because a lot of what's been plaguing me since I've come back from my elbow injury is I just make way too many bogeys. There's rounds where I'll shoot 2 under par and I'll make 9 birdies, and I'm like, okay, how did I bleed 7 strokes? That seems ridiculous. So the fact that I was able to go out there and even not having my best stuff, missing putts, obviously not playing well, making only 3 birdies, I was still able to not make a bunch of bogeys, which was a strong positive. Going into the final round, I don't really know. It poured rain on us all day. My game just wasn't there. I didn't putt good. I didn't particularly throw it very good. I didn't have the most control over my shots. So, I ended up finishing 22nd place, which is a lot better than my previous finishes in previous events since I've come back from this elbow injury. So, overall, it sucks to go from lead card to 22nd in the matter of 2 rounds, but overall it's better than being on the 12th card and getting 58th over 4 rounds. So, I got to take the positives where they come. That was the first time I kind of put it together and felt like reminiscent of myself in prior years coming back from this injury. And, I mean, it's not obvious to you guys, it's obvious to me, the injury and not being able to do much for all those months. I did gain some weight. I did, I'm hoping to be able to get my arm back in health and be able to exercise more and get back to where I was. But, not being able to, playing competitive and having to take 3 months off after they did the stuff on my elbow, I did, not, wasn't able to do much. So I'm hoping as we get more into the season, I get more into playing shape and I'm able to exercise and be confident in my arm, using my arm more and not trying to just preserve it for playing 18 holes of disc golf and that's it. Hopefully I'm able to practice more and start getting back in the swing of things a little faster. What I will say is I was very confident out there playing Portland Open. Even the holes or the rounds or the putts that didn't go in or looked horrible, I still believed I was going to make it before I let it go, which is a nice feeling. And overall, I think that minus my putting that final round, and obviously the conditions are just tough, I persevered and played really well. And it was a good promise, I guess, for what's to come if I'm able to do that. I made an Instagram post pretty much saying, like, there was times in this little stint where I thought, like, man, am I just not good enough anymore? Like, is it time for me to hang it up and do commentary like all these other guys? Or, what do I need to do in order to, feel like I deserve to be out here? And that week really showed me, hey, no matter whether I'm hurt, I'm not hurt, whatever it is, I've earned my right to be here. I deserve to be here. And my play, it's still at that level to be able to, execute those shots. And like I said, I earned being on lead card after the first round. I remained being on lead card the second round, and then I dropped down a little bit, but still played the third round of that Elite Plus event on the second card, which almost any player is going to be pretty happy with. So now heading into Beaver State Fling, I had a good amount of confidence. I filmed a bunch of content with Bedanza and Cal Longquist and Paul Macbeth, and we had a blast all week, practiced, played 2 rounds in one day, which is the first time I've done that, and goodness gracious, I don't even know how long. So headed into round 1, I was pretty confident. Had a pretty slow start, made a bogey before I made a birdie, which that might be my pet peeve in disc golf, is when you bogey before you birdie on the first round of the tournament, and you're like over par, and you're like, what is happening? So I had that happen, came back with 2 straight birdies on one hole's not that difficult, but then the next hole is probably one of the harder holes in the course. And I was feeling pretty confident. Just fast forward to 16. I was out of position, tried to push for a long birdie putt, knowing that, oh, I've been putting okay, maybe I'll make it. I ended up going out of bounds, and then I had my par putt, because I went out of bounds, so penalty stroke. Hit pretty good, like left side chains, hit the rim, and flip out, and that's disc golf. So back to 3 under par. Yeah. No, back to 2 under par. I believe I was 3 under at the time. And then going on to 17, lace my drive down the fairway, perfect, middle of the fairway, and there's like a series of animal holes kind of before my lie, and it's a par 5, so it's not like I could just stand still and chip it up there. I kind of had to get some oomph behind my throw, and I was more worried about what was behind my disc than what was right in front of it, apparently. And so I kind of analyzed the situation, took my time, made a few practice run-ups, and then executed my shot. And as I was following through on the other side, just stepped in a massive hole, and this ankle here, you could see probably how thick and big it is, just went right in the hole, and all my heavy weight right on my ankle, and I just hit the ground like a fat sack of potatoes. Typically you roll your ankle and you're like, oh, ouch, and you walk it off. That I just tanked right down, and my first thought was, it has to be broken, because I've never rolled my ankle and fallen like that. So to have that happen, and like I said, I wasn't playing that great. I was going to shoot, that's a birdie. Next hole might be a birdie. Shoot 4 under par, which I think would have been like 20th place or so. But still, from getting 50th and 60th for, a couple months straight, being in 20th after the first round wouldn't really ruin my whole day. So moral of the story, I limp through 17, actually make a birdie, so get back to 3 under. And at this point, I was down for a minute, so they wanted to call the ambulance. I was like, no, if I'm gonna be able to play tomorrow, I have to finish today. So let me get through this, and if it's excruciating, then I won't play, finish this round, but I'd like to try to finish the tournament. So I get through 17, like I said, end up making a birdie, actually. I had where I threw my second shot to, I ended up having the standstill putter approach, and then I made a 15-20 footer, so that obviously felt nice. I get to 18, throw it left out of bounds, throw it to like 40 feet, and actually make the putt for par, so end up finishing 3 under, I believe 32nd place, I believe, if that sounds right. So we tape it up, we ice it, we take care of it all night, we head to the course Saturday morning, and I'm kind of in this mode of like, I want to finish just because I want to be tough, but like, I don't know if it's the best thing for me. So anyway, I get to the course, we wrap it up, we get ready, do some little exercises, and I get on a hole 1 and I go to throw, and I just didn't have a lot of my power of my throw comes from that last X step on my left leg and kind of pushing forward, and obviously with the outside of my ankle being swollen, the inside of my foot hurting, planting on it at that angle just didn't feel very comfortable. So I made it through 7 holes, made some really good putts. I actually threw some pretty good shots, but I just couldn't trust it. And I throw my upshot on hole 8, which is the famous Philo hole. And Andrew Fish in my group, obviously you could tell I'm in pain, and I throw, and my shot kind of just goes in the trees, and Andrew goes, hey man, just let's do what's best for you. And that really hit home. I thought, wow, do what's best for me. What's best for me? Not finishing this event. Not because I don't want to, not because I could have finished. If someone said, hey, here's $100,000, finish, I could have hobbled through and shot 5 over per round and made it through, but that's what I did with my elbow. I told, oh yeah, you're hurt, but wrap it up, put something on it, ice it, take 5 ibuprofen before your round, do this, do that, and it just got worse and worse and worse and worse to the point where I missed 9 months of disc golf and competitive disc golf because I couldn't get past the fact of just like taking some time off and letting it heal. So when Andrew said that, I really thought like, what's best for me? Okay, this leg, if I don't play and I don't worsen it by stepping in another hole or doing the same thing again, I'll probably be able to play preserve and be pretty comfortable and trust my foot again. Or I could just keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and end up possibly somehow having just a weak ankle that doesn't ever really, I'm not that confident in it. And now I'm trying to get my confidence back from an elbow injury while fighting an ankle injury, which just seemed ridiculous to me. So shout out to Andrew Fish. I know he has a podcast. You guys should go check it out. Disc Golf Broadcast, I think it is. Andrew Fish, I'm sure it's linked on all of his social media. So thanks, Andrew. I appreciate it. You kind of convinced me to finally pull the plug on playing. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Portland Open was a major success for me. Showed me I still had it in the tank. And, you know, I had a lot of great things going. And then Portland Open had some positives. Then obviously had a major negative with my leg. But, you know, overall, fun events. Love coming to Portland. It's always a good time. The support is always awesome. I did win the 2019 Portland Open. So I feel some extra love here. And I feel like the community kind of rallies around me, more than they might if I wasn't a previous winner in the town. So thank you guys so much, Portland. Thank you to everybody who watches these videos. Make sure to shop Infinite Disc, Squatch Bags. Make sure to go to GibsonDiscGolf.com and check out my website. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next one.